17 weeks to Madiera, and welcome back to the sports park in Norwich. There's just one solitary runner out on the track still, and so this is obviously the same week that I'm recording the 19-week update because I lost that, and unfortunately I was planning to splice in other bits of footage from competition, but that's actually made the videos too complex. Just the upload times and the compression times and stuff. It was meaning that I wasn't actually following through and uploading them. So I'm just going to have straightforward talking at the camera, direct videos, and at the end I'll probably have a bit more montages, or closer to Madiera I'll probably have more of that. So things are getting quite advanced on in the year. We're just getting close to 4 months away, and we're getting really close to our first decathlon. Really, this decathlon, a lot's going to come out in the wash of what sort of form I'm in, what's really achievable, kind of rise to the occasion, how do I cope with the compounding effects of the different events. I'm just watching this guy in the discus here. Yeah, it's a lovely throw. There's no two ways about it. There's going to be a degree of disappointment and frustration about this decathlon if I don't do well, because I'll feel like I could have done better had it not been for the work stresses that I've been going through. But part of that is actually the learning process, and part of that is actually something that I can then take into next year and be like, right, how do I control work and keep it in a good place and not allow that to affect things too much, in terms of sport? Or is there options to take a period of less intensity at work? This year's been good in decreasing the commute, but are there other things I can do? So what's happening at work? A difficult situation, within the team, breakdown relationships within the team, basically, and I think I've kind of I've been in the middle of that, and it's just really not been that great, and it's really affected my ability to have peace day to day, and particularly in terms of sleeping and recovering and things. It's it's a situation that doesn't have me looking forward to going to work a lot of days. So this contract's it through till October, so I need to really address this and get in a good place, and just do what I can to establish good working relationships with the team without compromising on important things. So pretty challenging. Injury wise, body wise, not doing too bad. Essentially, from Tuesday this week, so this is Thursday, from Tuesday 2 days ago to the preceding Tuesday, I didn't do anything. I was working over the weekend, I was in overnight, I was getting really poor sleep. The Wednesday before, I had food poisoning and was feverish. Really quite, really not great. And even now, I'm just feeling lethargic and tired. And I'm like halfway through a session, just feeling exhausted. And tonight, I also slightly injured myself as well, which is not great. So yesterday I was helping at the Royal Norfolk show with the athletics club, and they had these like kind of mats with a little ridge in between where you had to kind of jump and see how many jumps on either side of this you could do within 30 seconds, and beating the record. And I was like, yeah, sure, a sec, I'm going to see what I can do. And I did good. I got like 70, and that was a few off the best that day, and it was competitive. But actually, I wasn't recovered from the session the day before. I had a session today that, I was thinking about maybe doing hurdles last night. I didn't feel like doing hurdles, and that might have been part of it. But also just made my ligaments all quite stiff. So then tonight when I came out to do hurdles, I've just hurt my ankle, this same right ankle. So it's not this lateral part; it's the bit just under the Achilles, but it's not the the actual Achilles tendon. It's one of the bits deeper inside. So I thought, right, well, let's cut short the hurdles. Let's at least go over to the pole vault. Did some vaults that were starting to go well, and then pulled the contralateral hamstring. So it was my right ankle and then my left hamstring. So I'm kind of hobbling over for the two of them. Didn't get the middle distance session that I was hoping to maybe do with that. And yeah, the only option was then to go and do a bit of javelin. So stuck with the javelin, and I don't know, I did like 12 throws or something. I've calculated that I needed to do about 50 throws in this training cycle to try and get my distances up to like 22 metres. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm now consistently throwing it. Not consistently. I'm now confident that with 3 throws I could land one in about 20 metres. I get several tonight in 20 metres. But to give you a bit of context of the 20 metres, that will still have me in at the lowest of all the 10 events if it's just 20 metres. I think the second lowest one would probably be like the pole vault or hurdles, and I think the same amount of points as 20 metres is like 2 metres in the pole vault, which I did back in December, but I've since done better. Sorry, back in January, February, but I've since done better. So, yeah, difficult to know whether I should be focusing more on the javelin, thinking, you know, each of these half metres is going to get me a whole bunch of more points, whereas to get the same time off in the 100 metres might take a lot more time. I don't know, but time's really of the essence. I really need to rest up for these injuries. So for the next few days, I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to do some gym work on Saturday, which is 48 hours or 36 hours from now, but nothing too crazy on the ankles. And then on Sunday afternoon, which is the last time I think I can really do a heavy session, which is like 6 days before the decathlon, I'm going to come out and do hurdles, and if I can, try and do some high jump as well. But yeah, really touch and go with some of this stuff. So not much else I can do in the meantime except just rest up, focus on other things, get some good nutrition, get some good sleep, do my meditations. I've still got another 5 more to go in the Headspace competition pack, which is good. So I've got a little cue. It's touching my pinky into my hypothenar eminence, and that's something that I can do, that I've been doing throughout all these meditations. It's a kind of a physical cue that makes me feel connected to myself and makes me feel strong because I'm feeling my own grip strength. But also it's like a point of focus. But then I can tap into this place. So we talk about focusing on something visually or physically. And yeah, the visuals are all just going to be completely new. So I went for something more physical. So that's going to be good to develop over the next week as well. And yeah, really, this time next week I'm going to be posting a video all about how I can just capitalise on what I've done. This time next week there won't be anything else I can do ahead of it apart from just rest up and get in good focus. I've got some good accommodation with friends. I know it's going to be a relaxing environment from the Wednesday night through to the Friday night. So that's going to be good. I've got some time with family that's going to be good and relaxing me. So yeah. And another thing is to try and get this work situation in a fairly good place and kind of feel like I've done what I can in the short term, so that I'm kind of like, right, well, there's not like stuff turning over in my mind, and it's like, right, well, the ball's out of my court for the time being. So that's about 9 minutes on the chat here. I need to head off and get some food and get some nutrition and some sleep. I've got another day off tomorrow that I'm going to really relax and enjoy. And yeah, we're still sticking with this plan. I still want to be a national level athlete, and one of the really good things is I'm just leaner than I was at the start of this year. I am just less heavy. I'm not carrying as much weight, and that's going to bode well for like the 1500 at the end, where it's just going to be easier to get around the track when I'm not like as heavy. So the vision's there. Madiera, we're going to be breaking personal records. I'm going to be breaking new ground, and yeah, I'm going to make myself proud. So don't really know exactly what sort of score we're going to get in Madiera in Oxford, but we're aiming for 4,500. So Oxford and then Madiera, we're coming for you. Ciao, ciao.